We need to think less and feel more. Or do we? In the recent years, thoughts have been demonized and feelings have taken over. Many believe that feelings are the language of the soul, but I disagree. Feelings are merely a part of the body-mind feelings machine, which is simply a vehicle for the soul to reside in during its incarnation on earth. Just as thoughts can sometimes get in the way of listening to our soul, so can the feelings. Some argue that feelings can be even more distracting because they can create an illusion of reality. In this video, you will find out why it's important to have a balance between the mind and the heart and how to do it. My dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. If you are interested in learning about spirituality and mysticism and would like to know how you can become more enlightened, more confident in your decisions and more in tune with reality, all the while being less distracted by nonsense, then you have come to the right place. My name is Layla and I am here to guide you. And before we get started, if you like anything you see in this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, not forgetting to set your notifications bell on so you do not miss any future videos. And make sure you stay right to the end for some interesting tips that you can start using in your life right now to become more wiser and soul strong. In life, as in the universe, we need balance. But when trying to balance one thing, it's very easy to almost aggressively swing to the other side of the spectrum. Unfortunately, going from one extreme to another is never a good thing. This applies in all matters you can think of. People often turn from love to hate, overeating to undereating, being lazy to being workaholics, etc., etc., etc. But let's talk about the finer things. Thoughts versus feelings. A popular New Age belief has it that it's all about the feelings. All you have to do is feel. Stop thinking and immerse yourself in your emotions. They are the answer, they say. But are they really? Unfortunately, neither thoughts nor feelings by themselves will suffice. We must learn to constantly strive for balance between the two. It requires constant effort, developing a habit of checking in on ourselves and making sure we are not going from one extreme to another. The truth is, just like overthinking, overfeeling can lie to us too. Just because a feeling is generated, it does not mean that it's a reality. Some will say, it is because I believe it. Sure, if we're living in a bubble, then it definitely is true, but only to a small degree. We have to be realistic. Don't get me wrong, creating thoughts and feelings has its place in time. They can be used constructively for development of ourselves and our lives. But here is the key. We have to think about what we feel. If we don't, we run a very high risk of living a lie. Demonizing thoughts is a recipe for disaster. Delusion and fantasy are very dangerous places to be living in and can drive people literally insane. What's worse is that we believe ourselves into feeling better, but in reality, we could just be getting worse. Manifested feelings are often confused with intuition, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Intuition is neither feelings or thought. It can only manifest itself once we learn to have our feelings and thoughts under control. It comes down to us like a lightning flash of insight, which is then translated into thoughts and feelings. But imagine that our emotions are a pool of water. If the water is mucky, the light shining through is going to be very vague and unclear. That's what happens with flashes of insight if we can't keep our feelings in check. We need to learn to calm the waters until they are perfectly still. How can we use our feelings constructively then? Again, the key is balance. Basically, we need to use our brains. We have them for a reason. What I find works really well is thinking about my feelings critically. I identify and name them. Then asking some questions like, why are you actually feeling this way? How this emotion could be impacting your life? Is it helping? Or are you stuck in a bubble? Could you maybe tone it down, or perhaps you'd be better off using your energy for something completely different? Is the emotion ruling you, or are you ruling it? Be very careful when asking yourself this one. It's very easy to assume you have things under control, when in reality, the opposite is true. Ideally, we want to realize that we are neither our thoughts nor our feelings, and try to find ourselves somewhere in between the two, not overthinking or being emotional, just there in perfect equilibrium between the two, aware of everything, bothered by nothing. Of course, building a habit of this takes time and will require constant, conscious work, but nothing worth attaining comes easy. If we want to be in full control of our lives, we first have to have full control of ourselves. Our physical, mental, and emotional bodies are vehicles, and we need to learn how to drive them if we want to get to where we want to be. Another really important thing to remember is that we shouldn't suppress our feelings. Many people think that controlling and suppressing is the same thing. We should just be mindful of when we are overreacting and learning more about ourselves so that we know when this is happening. For example, many people feel very irritable after consuming a lot of sugar or other unhealthy things. Realizing that a lot of feelings and emotions are results of hormonal changes in our body frees us from the prison that we put ourselves through unknowingly. Of course, there are other things like certain situations, but when our bodies are in balance, we can control ourselves much easier. We can deal with difficult situations a lot quicker, and we can get back on our feet in no time. My dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. Please show your support by sharing it with your friends and family. And if there are any topics you would like me to cover, then leave a comment below. Lastly, if you would like to book a one-on-one consultation with me, please follow the link in the description. See you in the next video.